Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday the 27th of October 2023. In today's Millwall news we have this from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website, with picture taken at the game the other day at home versus Blackburn Rovers. That's James Berylson and Amy Berylson there. Steve Morison, but the article is not about them, it's about Steve Morison. Steve Morison, semicolon. Millwall job will attract interesting applicants. The club's challenge has changed in recent years. Steve Morison reckons that Millwall's managerial vacancy will have attracted a quality field of applicants. The Lions have started the process to replace Garrett, and the interview process is set to run into next week, with the successful candidate needing to pass more than one stage of the process. Millwall chairman James Berylson, pictured above on the left, will be involved in the latter stages. He flew in from the USA with his mother Amy. The pair watched Tuesday's 2-1 defeat to Blackburn from the Den director's box, but their trip was planned before Routh's departure was mutually agreed. Morison, whose goal took the Lions into the Championship in 2017, reckons the former Stoke, Derby and Birmingham boss has helped consolidate the club in England's second tier. I'm sure that people's phones went off the hook as soon as news was announced, Morison told the South London Press. It's an appealing job and different to what people would have looked at 4 or 5 years ago. There's loads of managers out there looking for jobs, and I'm sure they will be working their way through different options. I bet there are some interesting ones that crop up along the way. Millwall have not reached the playoffs at their current level since 2002, but Morison, now managing Isthmian League Premier Division table toppers Hornchurch, said, Luton have done it. There's always that one team that does it at some point. It will be Millwall's turn. It was nearly their turn last season. They keep banging on the door. When I came back as a player, the club was bouncing between League One and the Championship, so the challenge was to take that last step into the playoffs. Is much better than the challenge we had previously, which was getting out of League One and saying let's stay in the Champ. Now it is, can we keep closing that gap to the playoffs? Under Gary and John Berylson's leadership, Steve Kavanagh on the board, that is where it is. The training ground is a bit better than it was when I was there. They were improving bits year on year. A lot of stuff that fans don't see. They only see the players turn up on Saturday or Tuesday night. The club is moving forward. You can see that in all aspects. I'm sure that James and Steve will get this appointment right. Former Millwall defender Kevin Muscat, in charge of Japanese side Yokohama F. Marinos, has been linked. Asked if it would help for a new boss to have a past connection with the Lions, Morison said, I don't think it has to be the manager, but within the structure of the setup it doesn't do any harm. So is that Steve Morison talking about himself there? That understanding and being on the same page as those people who are watching, the fans, goes a long way. We had it with players. How many have we seen come, can't deal with it, leave and do well at other places? There are others who come and they thrive off it. Whatever anyone says and people try and mask over it, it is a unique place. It's an amazing place to play your football. There are things you have to deal with, and there are things that come with the territory. If you don't know about it, or there's no one there to guide you or make you understand it, then I don't see why it would be any different to what happens with a player. I know a lot of the players have been there a long time, so I suppose there are those messages that are stressed from within anyway. There is that connection with Kevin Muscat. He was in for the Rangers job, so he was in and around that conversation. I bet there are some amazing names out there and ones people wouldn't expect. It will be interesting to watch. What does he know? What does he know? Obviously he knows something, but he can't say. What shall we read between the lines? I bet there are some amazing names out there and ones people wouldn't expect. Claudio Ranieri? Jose Mourinho? What are we talking here? Steve, come on. Give us a clue. It's interesting to note as well. So they're saying here, who's saying this? So this is Richard Crawley saying this. Millwall chairman James Berylson, pictured above, will be involved in the latter stages. So we've always said that there's going to be a multi-stage process, maybe 2 stages. So one assumes that Steve Kavanagh, and maybe some other directors, I don't know, Constantine or someone else, will be holding the initial interviews, and then there will be candidates selected that go through with an interview with James Berylson. That's what we're to take from this. And apparently there are some interesting names, according to Steve Morison, who probably knows who some of them are. Is he talking about John Terry? Is he talking about Frank Lampard? I don't know. Who is he? In terms of, we said interesting names. I mean, so you would think that would be big names that people know, household names. I bet there are some amazing names out there, and ones that people wouldn't expect. What would you not expect? Spanish Inquisition? I don't know. Fucking hell, just all this speculation is. I don't know why we're talking about it. We should just fucking wait until they announce Neil Warnock until December. It's going to be that kind of thing, isn't it? Where it's a letdown. So I don't know why keep whipping ourselves up into who it may or may not be. I mean, fucking hell. The only thing you know is when the bookies, when they cut it to odds on, and they just keep cutting it, then you know it's going to be that person. At the moment, I think the favourite's like 2-1. Once it goes the other way and it's like 4-7 on, you're like, oh shit, that's literally like they know now. They know. So that's the only clue we're going to have going forward, is when the bookies make it odds on favourite, and if they stop taking bets. So moving on to this, also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. So obviously it's Friday. They've got they publish on Friday and Tuesday the paper. Do you remember paper? Does anyone remember paper? Newspapers used to be made out of paper rather than pixels on the screen. But can you believe that? So they publish on Friday, and obviously they put up interviews with the players that are in the paper on a Friday, and this, I believe, is one of them. Murray Wallace on shock of Gary Rowett leaving Millwall, and why Lions squad won't let it affect their championship campaign. Murray Wallace is confident the Millwall squad will not allow Gary Rowett's departure to impact their championship season. Well, I hope it does have some impact. Hopefully, a positive one. Yes, please. Can we have a positive impact? Because the reason why he was mutually departed was this stale football. So, can we have an impact on that, please? The Lions are in a process of finding a new manager. Yeah, we've just read about that. After the experienced former Stoke City, Derby County, and Birmingham City. Oh, don't forget Burton Albion. Chief left by mutual consent in the middle of last week. Glaswegian Wallace signed for the South London club in the summer of 2018 on a free transfer from Scunthorpe United, and it is a sign of stability that he's only played under two permanent bosses, Rowett and his predecessor Neil Harris. Wallace described himself as shocked when the news broke that Rowett was stepping down a few days shy of 4 years in the Den hot seat. It felt like it came out of nowhere, Wallace told the South London Press. Especially over the international break, we had some good training sessions and we were building up to pressing game, going through the tactics and his team shape. He was sick and all that, so you think it's business as usual. To hear the news that he left on mutual terms is a bit sharp for all of us. I was watching a bit on TV and it was actually my wife who said, "What's this? Has Gary all left?" I said, "No, you're joking." And then you go on social media and WhatsApp group and you find out what's going on. It's because it's so unexpected. And you can't really believe it. It's part of the process of being in football, and managers chop and change quite a lot, I suppose. We've been quite fortunate that we've had Gary for such a long time. Rowett was the second longest serving manager in the Championship behind Coventry's Mark Robbins, who has been at the helm for more than 6 years. Only Nigel Pearson at Bristol City has clocked up in excess of 2 years out. The bosses in England's second tier. Millwall twice finished 8th under Rowett, as well as 9th and 11th, each time amassing more than 60 points. It definitely was a successful period, said Wallace. He had a clear plan and ideas about what he wanted from the team, and what he wanted to do. He's progressed the club to the team they can be up and around the playoffs and challenge for them. The results speak for themselves. From the position where he took over, where he finished in the league. Unfortunately, he just made out in the first couple of seasons. He knew the players we wanted and the influence he wanted around the club. He got Millwall as a club what it was all about. He wanted his hard work and fight his aggression in the team. He made things very simple for us, and we just get better players. You're very clear on what you need to do. Did very well. Wallace is only 4 appearances off 200 for Millwall and has 443 senior outings under his belt in a career which started in his native Scotland. The defender, who turns 31 in January, has seen most of what football can throw you. Some young lads may be a bit uncertain if it's their first manager change, he said. It's something they got to learn. As those guys don't know us as much as they enjoy playing on them. The way we are looking at it now is almost a fresh start, everyone. You can be the same thing if the series and go again. Why we respect the job is done and acknowledge that we're good players and we've been building every year and brought in some good quality players again this year. It's only down to us for performances and good results. Rout's assistant Adam Barrett has taken over in caretaker capacity and is being assisted by Paul Robinson, first team coach. Not that Paul Robinson. Barrett joined the Lions initially in a development coach role in March 2017. They also have someone who understands the club, said Wallace. Ads has been here for so many years. I've been blessed with my career. There's so many managers and staff where we've been former defenders. I've always had that guidance from people who played hundreds of league games, so he's got good knowledge and he can pass down. Mill will head to Watford tomorrow, aiming to extend their unbeaten away record to 5 matches. The Lions have drawn 3 out of their last 4 on the road, Zion Fleming's excellent strike earning a 1-1 draw at Preston North End last weekend. It's difficult to go to a team that's doing well in the league and whose confidence up, said Wallace. I know the last couple of results has been great, but it gives them even more motivation. It was always going to be a tricky one, and we had the difficult start going on 1-0 down straight away. We had the character and fight you in a game to get a level. After we always, we felt the game was there for us. I suppose the point was a fair reflection. But we hope we have a little bit more. We got real belief in the squad, and we can go and get a good result anywhere we go. Wallace could reach a double century of Mill games before the end of November. I love my time and it helps when you're playing a lot of games, he said. Long may it continue. The fan base get behind you and they appreciate a lot of the attributes that part of defender's game. Hard tackles and stuff like that. So there you go. Murray Wallace there, Glaswegian. So he likes having the coaches that are defenders. Because it helps him defend, apparently. So, there you go. Now, we have again, talking to the Southwark News this time, Bart Białkowski. I'm just now taking it day by day. Millwall's Bartosz Białkowski on his first team return, appreciating the small things and his great relationship with Gary Rowett. The departure of George Long and injury to Maciej Sarkic has allowed Białkowski to reclaim his place between the sticks. Bartosz Białkowski has a new lease of life in the Millwall goal. The 36-year-old is back in between the sticks for the Lions after being displaced first by George Long and then by Maciej Sarkic. But with Long leaving for Norwich City and Sarkic sidelined with injury, has opened the door for the Polish keeper to reclaim his spot. And Białkowski says he's determined to make the most of it and is enjoying every moment. He last played on Tuesday night against Blackburn Rovers, where he was beaten by a Callum Britton belter in the second half, though for Joe Rankin Costello smuggled the ball home in the first half. The stopper also had to pull off a number of saves in his busiest 90 minutes he's experienced since returning to the first team. Speaking before that match against Rovers, he told News at then. Oh, he's Polish, by the way. How do I do that? I started the season on the bench. I'm doing Irish. What the fuck am I doing? I am Polish. My name is Bart, and I am Polish. I started the season on the bench, which I knew already. As soon as we signed Marty, I was okay. I respected that decision, and obviously I didn't play much last season, so I knew the club would sign another keeper. But still, I worked hard, and different things happen in football. Matty's injured now, and I'm backing the team. I'm just now taking it day by day. I appreciate every single training session and every game. Just trying to stay positive. He's from South Poland, near Transylvania. Białkowski has kept 3 clean sheets in his 7 league games so far this season and admits it was difficult falling down the pecking order in recent years. After arriving at Millwall in August 2019, initially on loan from Ipswich Town, the keeper became very popular with fans and won the Player of the Year award in back-to-back seasons after some outstanding performances. But Long displaced him after 9 games into last season's Championship campaign. Oh, it was hard for me mentally, especially after so many years in games I played, Białkowski said. It was hard, I'm not going to lie, but I think with my age, I'm experienced enough and old enough to understand the position I've in the team, and I'm still doing my best to help my teammates, whether I am playing or not playing. Sometimes you can train as hard as you want, but playing games in front of full stadium is a completely different thing. I think it become easier with time and experience, and you just try and go out and enjoy it. That's my approach. Białkowski could soon be taking instructions from a different manager after Gary Rowett's departure. The keeper arrived at the club just a few months before Rowett replaced Neil Harris. He said he received a message and a phone call from the 49-year-old coach on the night when everything changed at the Den. Białkowski said, most of us has been in this position before when a manager has left. In the 4 years of Gary being in charge, we've built a great relationship. Me personally, I'm sure everyone has a great relationship with Gary. He builds a strong team, great characters. There's no egos in the team. Everyone knows their jobs. I was a shock for everyone, but that's football. Gary and the chairman probably had a discussion, and both parties decided that's the best way for both of them, for the club and for Gary as well. He adds that he's not following all the gossip and speculation on who the new boss will be. As players, it's out of our control. It's not our decision to make, and I'm sure it's not going to be an easy one. What we can do is focus on ourselves and take it game by game and climb up the table, and that's all we can do. Indeed, indeed. I would say for you personally, but you need to take it save by save and concentrate hard on each save because you ain't as young as you used to be. You ain't a spring chicken anymore. Now, moving on to this. I previously mentioned Murray Wallace, who gave an interview. He was at the Den for the Halloween tour alongside Billy Mitchell. Fantastic Junior Lions tour. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Junior Lions flocked to SC16 to enjoy a spooktacular tour of the Den. The day began in Harry's Bar with sweets, refreshments, and a kit design competition. That's how they're getting their designs for next season. They're getting them in early, before a surprise visit from two Millwall first team stars. Murray Wallace and Billy Mitchell arrived to join the fun, pose for photos, and put a smile on everyone's face. Keep an eye out on millwallfc.co.uk for upcoming Junior Lions events, including festive fun. If you're not already a member, you can find out more here. Take a look at the best photos from the day below. Does look like they put some effort into this. In the video, I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before, I told you about the stadium tour dates that they had up till Christmas. Did not mention a kids' Christmas one, so I imagine that probably, it's according to what is set up there, they're probably trying to fit that in somewhere. So we'll see how that goes. So here's the pictures here. What is that? Was it? Girl in the background dressed in a lion's. I assume it's a girl. I thought that was her ginger hair. I think she's wearing like a lion's costume. Nice. Murray Wallace there taking some serious questions. But you can see, look at the effort they put in. Look at the club here for what I think it's. I think they charge like £10 per head for this. So you know what I mean, like going above and beyond it. So there you go. Keep off the pitch unless you are dead. Nice. And we're back around again. So there you can see. Fantastic Junior Lions tour. Well worth the effort. Well worth attending for that. So now we're going to preview tomorrow's game away at Watford. As we must. So here we go. This is the historical record 11v11.com between Watford and Millwall. Games at Vicarage Road. And I don't know when they moved. Have they always been at Vicarage Road? I'm not too sure. Were they there in 1920 when we first played them in November and lost 1-0? Maybe. But you can see here quite streaky this fixture. You can see here we've got 4 wins in a row. Here we've got, what's that, 5 draws in a row in the late 30s and going up to 1950. here in the 1950s, from 53 to 58, we've got 5 draws in a row, 5 defeats in a row. 2-1, 5-3, 4-2, 2-0, 3-0. And that was all in Division 3 South, so they had the best of us, but didn't get promoted out that league. 1958, Division 4. Oh, so it looks like both teams got relegated in that season. Or was that a restructuring? Oh, that must have been a restructuring. We ended up in Division 4 with Watford. And we drew 1-1. So we ended that streak of defeats. And then we go on an unbeaten run from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s till 1980 in the League Cup. Obviously, they had a bit of a purple patch then. They had Graham Taylor in charge. Was he in charge? But no, that's probably like 90s, no? 1990. Graham Taylor. Oh no, that would have been around then. No, that would have been Elton John and all that shit. 1980. What was it? Graham Taylor, Luther Blizzard. Did he play for them? So yeah, we lost 2-1 in the League Cup to them. Didn't play them for 10 years because, like I said, they were on a different trajectory than Millwall. Played them in 1990 August. When Graham Taylor probably been managing England then, no? What am I talking about? No, he wouldn't. That was 92. So there's a streak in the 90s, obviously. 92, we lose 3-1. 93 in the League Cup, we draw 0-0. And then we lose 2-0, 1-0, 94, 95. And then, like I say, it's very streaky. We go on another streak where we don't lose again in the 90s and in the early 2000s until 2003. When we lose 2 in a row, we put a stop to that in 2006 when we win 2-0. But then recently, we just put stop last season on Boxing Day. Do you remember that game? They had a player sent off and we won 2-0. And they looked very poor in that game. They looked very, very poor. When they were supposed to be like, because they just got relegated, didn't they? The season before. So they were supposed to be like the big things, but they were absolutely dire. I think all the 3 teams that came down were dog shit. Really, except for Burnley. Well, yeah. So last season, that 2-0 win was put stop to a 6 games without a win, going all the way back to 2006 when we last won. Coincidentally, also 2-0. So this game could literally be anything. It could be a home win, it could be an away win, it could be a draw. Is this the start of a mini streak for Millwall to win? Was that just a blip before we go on to another streak to lose? Fuck knows. If we look for games in October, which obviously this is, in 18th of October 1997, we won 1-0. 29th of October, which is just the day out, 1991, we won 2-0. Okay. And is there another one? 11th of October, that first game in Division 4, that was a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw in Division 4. And those are the only games we've played them in October at Vicarage Road. So we are unbeaten in the month of October at Vicarage Road. Am I clutching at straws? Maybe. There you go. Let's go to the present day, right here, right now. So these are the last 6 games at Vicarage Road. You can see 2 red cards, one for us in that 4-0 drubbing. Weirdly, both on Boxing Day. Which, if you're going to get a red card in a game, it's not a bad one to get a red card in, because then you will now get suspended for 3 games, and you get to have a break over Christmas. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so we've lost 4 the last 6, drawn 1, won 1, and so the games that we've drawn and we've won, we kept a clean sheet, a 0-0 draw and a 2-0 win. We've only scored 4 goals in the last 6. They've scored 10, and we've got more yellow cards, 15. Watford have kept 3 clean sheets in those last 6 games. If we go on to the right hand side, match facts. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in Watford's last 4 games. Watford have seen under 2.5 goals in 5 of the last 6 matches against Millwall in all competitions. That includes home and away, whereas the ones on the left hand side that I pulled up are just Watford at home. If we go here at the table, the 2 teams are identical, except for we've scored 3 less goals. So they're 15th, we're 16th. Both teams won 4, both teams drawn 4, both teams lost 5. Both teams have conceded 16 goals in 13 games, but they have scored 16 goals in 13 games. We have only got the 13 goals in 13 games, averaging 1 goal a game, which is not good, because if that goes over the whole season, how many games have we got? 46. How many goals will we have? 46, exactly. Quick math. That is not good. We need at least 60 goals, I think, or 70 goals. I think there was a stat like teams that get in the playoffs have to reach a certain number of goals, and if you don't get up there, you literally don't get in the playoffs. So yeah. Let's have a look at the overall home and overall away. So, at home, Watford are 3-2-2, scoring 11, conceding 6. So less than a goal a game they've conceded at home. They're the 11th best home team in the league. Millwall's away form, nearly identical. We are 10th. So they're 11th at home, we're 10th away. We've won 2, drawn 3, lost 1, which was the 3-1 hammering at Norwich City. Shame that George Long wasn't in goal for that game, because we would have absolutely romped it. Even with the way we play, we would absolutely romp that. That's the luck, isn't it? Luck of the draw. We actually had to face a good goalkeeper in that game. So there you go. Let's go down and do this and do this. So the last 6 matches at home for Watford and the last 6 matches at 6 matches away for Millwall. It's Millwall, by the way, not Millwall. I've been hearing people chant Millwall, like Chinese, succulent Chinese mill. It's not Millwall, it's Millwall. Off on a tangent now. Meal, like meal, Indian meal. So Watford. What are we looking at? They have kept 3 clean sheets at home. 0-0 against Plymouth. A 2-0 win over Birmingham, and their player sent off. And they 1-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday in their last game. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are not the best teams in the league. We beat Plymouth at Plymouth. Sheffield Wednesday in the relegation places, and we went to Birmingham and got a 1-1 draw. And we're not very good. They conceded 3 goals in a game and lost 3-2. They conceded 2 goals against West Brom and drew 2-2. And they lost to Blackburn 1-0. The team that we managed to score against at home. So we beat them 2-1. We lost to them 2-1. They lost to them 1-0. Yeah. So it looks like, so in the last 6 games at home, they haven't won a game that they've conceded in. That's what we can take from this. So they haven't won 2-1, they haven't won 3-2. They need to keep a clean sheet to win a game. Yes? Yes. Now Millwall, not Millwall, Millwall. Yes. So 3 draws in the last 4 games. But indeed, we haven't won an away game where we've conceded a goal. We've only drawn it. Birmingham 1-1, Preston 1-1, losing to Norwich 3-1. We kept a clean sheet and Middlesbrough won that 1-0. Kept a clean sheet at Plymouth, won that 2-0. So it literally could go Watford win to a clean sheet, we win to a clean sheet, or it's going to be a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm seeing from all this. Here are strengths and weaknesses. Interestingly, we've got a few more strengths, but we've got very weak. Avoiding fouling in dangerous areas, but as mentioned in the analysis in yesterday's video, we haven't conceded from a set piece yet. Will that happen tomorrow? I don't know, but we give away all these fouls, but we have yet to concede because we've got Jake Cooper, and interestingly, he doesn't get the fouls up at the other end when people foul him, but he doesn't get the fouls or no fouls are given against him when he's defending. So there you go. Match forecast. Millwall will score as a result of individual skill. Millwall will dominate in the air. Watford will dominate possession. Well, that's good because, as I mentioned in yesterday's analysis, we do well when we don't have possession. We generally win those games. Now, moving on to this. This is the preview. No, that was the preview. This is a prediction from WhoScored.com. Apparently, Watford don't have any injuries, so good luck for them. But that's probably not true because this is all a bit hazy when they come to that. Prediction. Ken Sema broke the deadlock against Swansea with just 8 minutes left on the clock in midweek, meaning Watford head into this game having won back-to-back league games in the final 10 minutes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So they won their last 2 games, but they scored a goal in the final 10 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe they're quite a young team. So I'm sure they have quite a lot of fitness. We've played 3 games this week. This will be our 3rd game this week, also be their 3rd game this week. I think we might have to use the full complement of substitutions, especially concerning fresh legs. Even if that is players like Tom Leahy or Adam Maliki. We need fresh legs, it seems, and don't stop playing until the fucking whistle's gone and the game is over, because they don't. Valera and Ishmael's side have lost just 1 of their last 4 games at Vicarage Road. That was to Middlesbrough 3-2. A 3rd-minute goal from centre-back Wes Harding was not enough to earn Millwall any points from their clash with Blackburn on Tuesday night, as goals from Joe Rankin Costello and Callum Britton condemned the Lions to defeat. Saturday's visitors are now winless in their last 3 league games. That's one way to put it. And they predict Watford 2, Millwall 1. So Watford 2, Millwall 1, which would be the first home game they would win this season, having conceded a goal. Now, moving on to the prediction from David Prutton of SkySports.com. What say you, David? How far down will we have to go? Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Have I gone past it? Why have they got the table there randomly? Random. Okay. Just randomly put the table in the middle of the predictions. Confusing everyone. Where the fuck are we? How far down? We're literally at the bottom. It's not even alphabetical, which would make sense because it's Watford. But David Prutton of Sky Sports predicts Watford 1, Millwall 1. So, no one's going for Millwall win. Which, if we're gonna win this game, we need to keep a clean sheet. It looks like, which would suggest I think 1-0. So we're gonna either win this 1-0. It's gonna be a 1-1 draw, or Watford are gonna win it 2-0. I think. Therefore, I'm going to predict. I'm going to predict another defeat. I think. Look, decisions needed to be made in the Blackburn game. Billy Mitchell was having an absolute stinker in the first half, and he didn't get taken off. So, like, what? That's not management. That's not management. Like, you can see what's happening. Obviously, you probably took him at half time, told him he had a stinker, and expect him to go out and play that little bit better. But sometimes you're not going to have it. It's not your day. It wasn't Billy's day. He hasn't played for a while. You're just throwing him in there. And when George Samuel come on, we played infinitely better. I think Alan Campbell might come back in for this one. Being not sure he really cares. He's from Scotland, but Luton, Watford. Maybe he can. It will G him up if the Watford fans are on his back for being a Luton Blair. I'm sure he wouldn't give a fucking two bobs of his shit. So that would be good. That might G up the Millwall fans, all 2,102 of you who are going there tomorrow. So yeah. But I just can't see it. I just can't see it. Like I say, the decisions need to be taken in the match, and the decisions need to be taken with the formation aren't being taken. Looking at the analysis that I brought you in yesterday's video from that website, the reason why we're shit this season is because our game relies on taking the ball off people in the middle of the park and then going forward with it. And when we play two up front, we've been playing two up front this season, and that's fucked us because there's one less person to tackle people in the middle and then go forward. So, kind of thinking, having seen that and that's how we play, it might be better if we play the old Christmas tree, if we play 4-3-2-1 and play it narrow. If we play Brook Norton-Cuffy as the right back, he can get forward down the wing, Murray Wallace down the other wings if we're attacking, and then that would eventually, what would that be? So it'd be 2-5-2-1. 2-5-2-1. So when we're defending, it'll be the two AMCs will drop back, so it will effectively 4-5-1. But you could leave one of them up, so you could go 4-4-1-1 when we're defending. When we're attacking, you'll just keep the two centre backs there. Denor can stay drop back, so that'll be 2-2-1-4-2-1 when we're going forward. But yeah, our game, apparently when it was good last season, was because we were taking the ball off people in the middle of the park, tackling the ball, and then overrunning them. And if you've got an extra man up front and one less in midfield, you can't do that. And we've seen that before, that teams are literally just running through us in the middle. That was going all the way back to the Charlton game in the friendly pre-season. So if some bird, I showed you, if you didn't see yesterday's video, go and see yesterday's video. There was like an article called Total Football Analysis, written by some bird who's a statistician from Middlesbrough. If she can see that, and then she can write it down, but Adam Barrett can't see that and then adjust. Like, the guy's got nothing to lose, because he's probably going to get fired anyway, because the players like him, but from the outside it looks like he's Gary Rowett's man, and he's doubtfully going to be a number two. He might stay on as number two to the end of the season, whoever comes in, but he's probably going to be gone anyway. So, like, you had a stinker in the Blackburn game, being 1-0 up and losing 2-1. You might as well just fucking swing for the fences, try and hit a home run. But I think he's going to go same old, same old. He's probably going to go back to the 5-5-3-2, whatever it's called, 3-5-2. And it's probably not going to work. It's not going to work. I think we're going to lose 2-0 to Watford. I think we're going to have a player sent off, and I think that player's SA. You see, he gave away a few fouls in the last game. He's getting it put on him. Him and Amaku getting it put on him by the opposition. Amaku with the number 4. Bit of gamesmanship, you know what I mean? Like, They're just, these old pros are just squeezing them a bit. They know what they're doing, and I think they're being a bit clever with it. And I don't think Emaku and Esse kind of really know what they can do. Obviously, they get fouled and they appeal to the referee with their hands out. But I mean, you've got to crack on. Like, if he doesn't give it, he doesn't give it. Maybe if you dropped over and rolled over like you got shot, but I don't think they fall for that shit anymore. So I think he's gonna get tackled, and he's gonna get a bit he's gonna get a bit offended by that, and he's gonna go and foul someone. He's probably gonna get sent off because he's gonna do it quite clumsily. Especially if he gives the SA gives the ball away and then he tries to get it back, and he'll end up fouling someone. If he does that and they're on the counter and it looks like they're away, the referee might think that's like a goal scoring, like you've tried to block a quick counter, and it might give him a straight red. So I think it's going to be Watford 2, Millwall 0, and I think somebody's going to get sent off, but I think it's probably going to be Romain SA. And if that comes true, ooh, Nostradamus here. But yeah, sorry to all you Mill fans going there. I think Alan Barrett's just status quo. He's not. You saw he didn't make the decisions that needed to be made against Blackburn Rovers. Some literally 20-year-old bird writing for Total Football Analysis can see what the situation is with us, but he can't. He can't fix it, probably because we don't have the players, because they're either injured or Gary out ball players that goes back to the old formation that was absolute dog shit for us last season. So yeah, sad to say, I think it's going to be another defeat. But hey, I hope I'm proved wrong. I do hope I'm proved wrong. And yeah. On that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.